Welcome to La Vida Rosa. I'm your host, Pinky, and today we're going to be talking about The Ultimatum Season 2, Episodes 2 and 3. If you'd like to see more, then just stay tuned. But before we begin, I would like for everyone to check out my website, lavidarosastyle.com, where you can find cute accessories like the ones I'm wearing right now. Like, comment, and subscribe. Without further ado, let's get into this video. So we're picking up in Episode 2 with Lisa busting Ryan in the face. Which she really just mushed him, but still, like, it was completely out of line. I could not understand why it escalated to this point. Brian wasn't even loud talking to her or anything. He literally was taking it. I mean, at one point, it seemed like he was trying to walk away or whatever. Usually, I like to take the woman's side. I like to have the woman's back. But from what I saw, Lisa was completely being toxic and being so immature and rowdy and rude for absolutely no reason. At some point, they end up outside and she's coming off extremely insecure, calling Riah out of her name. She was upset because she said, "You choosing this young girl and you ain't gonna learn nothing from her. Basically, it's just lust. Why don't you choose somebody like Rocks or somebody you can actually learn from?" Girl, that ain't your decision. You brought him here to date someone else. He gets to choose who he dates. You don't have no control over that. And even if it was Rock, you have a problem with that too. She created all of this drama. Like, she likes this toxicity. You could tell. Like, she was living for it. She was really leaning in to the dramatics and the crazy of it all. I was questioning whether it was real at some point, because it just was like, who does this? Like, I've never seen anybody pop off like this for a situation you created. At some point, she stormed off, claimed she was done with the whole relationship. Now we have Riah. She's crying and running into Trey's arms, crying, and he's consoling her. You could tell how she is in the relationship. Like, she'll run over, let him comfort her, and then completely left without any concern of how he may feel about this situation. So after that, we see people dating more. Alex and Roxanne are pretty much into each other because they share the same ideals. They're both dominant people in their relationships. They're both entrepreneurs. They both understand the round-the-clock work. It seems like they have a lack of respect for their respective partners. We see James dating Riah. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I didn't really see a connection with them outside of like the trauma bonding, and we were both raised by single moms. Clearly he has mommy issues. His father passed away early on in life, and he wishes that he could have seen her happy in a relationship outside of that, and it just never happened. And he gets emotional at some point, and she comforts him. But I don't know. I didn't see it between those two. It just felt like almost like a default thing for them. Then we see Brian and Riah. I'm telling y'all, that physical connection, that lust. Okay, they are clearly very attracted to each other. I haven't heard one thing they have in common yet. It's that physical attraction. Yeah, we had great conversations. Okay, y'all ain't saying nothing in these conversations though. Okay, y'all ain't fooling nobody. They talked about basically the roles in a relationship, and she expects the man to cover the big bills and she can handle the rest. He asked, well, what if a man gets on hard times? And she's like, yeah, I could definitely step in then. I feel like they were just saying whatever each other wanted to hear, to be honest. She did reveal that she had a miscarriage at some point, and that made her question wanting a child. I feel like that traumatic event kind of influenced her on feeling that way, because she doesn't want to experience that again. Also, she basically is very hesitant on whether she loves Trey or not. They don't have an emotional connection. We see Trey dating Lisa, and it's crazy how those two couples swap partners and they're like very compatible. First of all, I was surprised that Lisa was still there, because girl, this is the second time you threatened to leave. After you made that scene the day before, you completely stormed off and said you were done, you didn't want to be with him. I was so shocked to see her there. And who would want to date her after that display anyway? But Trey was very much interested. She admitted that she was rude to Riah and low-key wanted to fight her. I'm like, Trey, you still interested? He looked at her behavior as passion and not toxicity. I'm like, Trey, I see why you're in the situation you're in. You put up with anything. I need to know more about your upbringing. Why do you think that's normal? They genuinely seemed to have chemistry though. They were hugging and blushing. He told her like, you shouldn't be anxious in this process because you're the ideal woman. And he was really affirming her and just telling her how great of a person she was. And she was telling him that. And I'm just like, if she wasn't so toxic, I could see this working because she needs somebody that could help her mellow out. But then again, as soon as Trey says something she don't like, how we know she ain't gonna flip out on him too? That's why I'm like, that 0 to 100 unpredictable personality, I just can't. So then we get to the day of the choice. Everybody is sitting at the table and there are 2 chairs missing. Lisa and Brian are not there, and everybody's like, okay, where are they? I ain't gonna lie, I was very upset to not see them there, and because they're not gonna be there, I knew the rest of the season was gonna flop. I already knew it. I knew right then and there. A part of the drama of the choice or the decision is to guess and, wonder who is going to choose who. Because at this point, with them being gone, it's beyond clear and predictable who was going to choose each other. But before I get to that, the reason why Brian and Lisa didn't show up is because she's pregnant. And I know Lisa is going to blame her behavior on pregnancy hormones, but I ain't buying that. He even said the way that she acts when he's around other women, he said that on the last episode that she needs to work on that. I believe that's par for the course with her. I don't think her acting a fool like that had anything to do with pregnancy. So they did show the scene of where she revealed to him that she was pregnant. I ain't gonna lie, he did not look happy ever. His face was just straight. She obviously was over the moon because this is something that she wants. She wanted to get pregnant by a certain age. She said her clock was ticking or whatever. Her having this baby doesn't make this situation any less toxic. In fact, it's probably going to make it worse. I can only imagine how she's going to be when it comes to co-parenting. And I think this baby is going to be the nail in the coffin for them, low-key. Because at some point he was like, well, am I off the hook for the ultimatum? And she like looking at him like, he's like, oh, wrong timing. Yeah, like she said out of her mouth, I don't think just because I'm pregnant, this is going to get him to marry me. But I do think in the back of her mind, she believes that. I really do. Like, I think because she's just overjoyed. And I'm not saying she's not happy that she has a child. But you could tell she thinks this is going to propel them forward into marriage. And I don't believe it. He does seem like he's happy to be a father. It's a beautiful thing to bring a child in this world. Don't get me wrong. That's a beautiful thing. But those two, I don't feel like it's going to be the most positive experience. I just feel like it's devastation coming. But I'm not going to predict that. I hope they prove me wrong. I mean, I hope that at the very least they're able to co-parent in a healthy way. So like I said, this whole situation just threw a wrench into everything. It made every choice predictable. They literally just swapped partners. Like, whereas if there was an extra couple, most likely if Lisa and Brian would have stayed, Brian and Riah would have chosen each other. But it still would have been like that. Was she going to choose James or Brian? We know she's going to choose Brian. And then when it comes to Trey, he would have to choose between Lisa or Ryan. I could be wrong, but I still think he would have chosen Lisa, and that definitely would have caused some drama. Lisa would be doing all kind of stuff to be trying to make Brian jealous. That Brian and Riah probably would have hooked up at some point, and then it would have caused a little bit more controversy for the other couples, because who would Ryan and James have been hooked up with? You know what I'm saying? I think that would have caused a little bit more of a mixing and matching with the other couples, but that's a big what if, child. We'll never know. I honestly think the win was taken out of Riah's sails, because if she would have chosen Brian, I don't think she would have cared as much that Trey and Ryan chose each other. But because they did, I think she realized, oh, they actually got a little connection. Trey tells Ryan she beautiful every chance he gets. I think that put her a little bit on the edge of her seat, more so than if she would have had Brian. I don't think she would have cared at all. I think she was like, okay, Brian. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think she truly cares about Trey like that. Riah ended up having to choose James basically as a consolation prize. she did claim that it's easier to open up to him, and Trey felt some type of way, like those were shots, and he said, you know, it makes me question our relationship. Trey, use your nice size eyes and see the situation for what it is. Honestly, all the couples were throwing shots at each other in their speeches. Oh, I just feel so much more comfortable with you. Oh my God, you're just so easy to talk to. You match me so much better. Oh, I can't wait to move in with you. I hate the person I'm with. Like, it just felt so rude and disrespectful. James did say he connected with Riah, but James felt some type of way about Trey's speech. He realized that he didn't want to lose Ryan, and, you know, she's finally going to get some appreciation from elsewhere, whereas she's only been with him. So I feel like that really threw him off his rocker, because he might just lose her in this process. But he did make sure to tell Trey he didn't want no problems, okay? He made, look, I ain't trying to be rude, I ain't trying to be disrespectful. Kat and Antonio, they chose each other by default. I feel like in this situation there's always that one couple that has to choose each other by default, because ain't nobody left. Also, they're the ones giving the ultimatum, so they really do just want their partner. Roxanne does say that she's shocked at how outgoing Antonio is, because he's very introverted and passive with her, and he's just been so outgoing and talkative with Kat and the other guys. He said he's scared to make the wrong move because he might lose her, and I'm just like, you scared to lose that money? I'm sorry, I really do think that he wants to be financially stable with her. I really do. I really do think he's with her for that. Do I think he loves her to a certain extent? Yes. And then when Alex was talking about how much he liked Roxanne, I feel like Alex was just being a jerk the whole time at the table, basically saying that Kat is the polar opposite of Roxanne, because Roxanne is witty and smart, and finally I have someone that can see my effort, and I actually have someone competent now, while Kat is on the verge of tears. Like, just a complete jerk. Like, if nothing else, I hope Kat watches his back and sees that this man treats you like trash, straight up. He don't have any sort of respect for you. And he even turned to Antonio and told him, I'm glad you're dating my girl. Like, what? Every other couple here has a level of jealousy, and you're just like, you can have her. So then we have the new couples, Trey and Ryan. Both of them act very innocent and unassuming, but I don't know, it just felt like they might cross the line at some point, because they are so naive, and she keeps saying she's only been with one person, and I'm just like, so you want to try something new? You want to try some chocolate, huh? Is that it? I don't know. But I ain't gonna lie, Trey and Ryan make a great couple. Then we had James and Riah. The swap hit him really hard. Like, he seemed like he was mingling with her just fine, and then at some point when it was time to go to bed, he decided to go for a late night run, and she was just like, that's weird. And, you know, he was on the phone with somebody and basically talking about how it finally hit him that she could leave him and that he hasn't been appreciative to her. I mean, he broke down into tears and everything. And it's like, see, you should have just married that woman. You should have just married her. Okay, that's all she wanted, but you was too busy playing games. And see, that's what happens. Then we had Kat and Antonio. Blah. Then we had Roxanne and Alex, and she was initiating some risque talk with him, talking about, oh, do you want to take showers together? Do you sleep in the nude? Talking about butt stuff. And I'm like, she just doesn't take Antonio seriously at all. And that's why it was so easy for her to jump into this other relationship and, I don't know, be a little, it seemed like she was a little disrespectful. I wonder how Antonio would feel watching that back. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this review down below. Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? I'd love to hear your opinion. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Peace.